Hi guys, Forgotten Wolf here, and today I want to discuss how Game of Thrones ending could have been improved. I know this is like the third or fourth time I've discussed this before, but time is different. I'm just going to focus on one character's ending today and discuss how I would have improved season 8 in order to make Bran becoming king at the end make some more sense and generally be received better than how it was in the actual show. Now, before we begin, Happy June to everyone. Let's begin. In season 8, Tyrion making Bran king makes zero sense, and we are given zero reasons behind it other than the story, which everyone else has a better story when it's become a meme online. D&D chose not to build up despite knowing for years that George R. R. Martin wanted Bran to become king and would be king at the end of the books. I don't get why they chose that, but to give zero build up, but yeah. I'm going to make Bran becoming king make way more sense, and I'm going to do that and four simple steps, and these steps are mostly going to be contained in season 8 with one exception. I'll start with the exception in step number 1, which is more build up from season 6 and 7. Not a meme, but in season 6, I'm going to have Bloodraven make references to kings around Bran, trying to seem like he's trying to teach him something about good kings. And in the change in season 7, and the more important one, is when Bran reunites to Sansa in season 7. When Sansa tries to get Bran to claim Winterfell, Bran, instead of saying he doesn't want it and can't be it, Bran says at the end, "I am something more important now, and will be for a while." It's a dual-sided quote, meant to be Bran referring to himself as being the three-eyed raven and the future king and king of the realm. So it doesn't come from nowhere. Bran knows that it's going to happen. This quote should mean that Bran becoming king is at least somewhat set up earlier seasons. It doesn't come from nowhere. But from now on, the rest of the steps will be in season 8 itself. Step number 2. This is probably the biggest change, and I'm going to have Bran killing the Night King. I'll explain. When the Night King is holding Arya, Bran manages to work into the Night King, take the dragon glass that Arya has, and stab himself, shattering the Night King and the White Walkers. And this means that Bran killed the Night King, and Bran saved the whole realm by using his powers to protect humanity and stop the Night King. Bran is the hero, and only a king would do something like that. He'd risk his life to protect everyone. And Bran is hailed as the hero, as he saved the realm and killed the Night King despite being crippled, and no one else could. He overcome all odds. This is probably the most important step, as Bran now, he has some justification to justify being king. He's done something very heroic and should be rewarded. A king protects his people, and Bran protected the people of Westeros despite not being the king and being crippled. Now I'm going to go into step number 3 here. Step number 3 is that Bran needs to show he's very knowledgeable and has the intelligence and intellect to be a king and recognize threats. I'm going to achieve this by Bran warning Jon, Sansa, and Arya about Daenerys becoming the Mad Queen. This takes place when Jon's identity is revealed to the Starks, but nobody really listens to Bran. Bran was one of the Bran. It was not Arya who says we're warning. It's Bran who's warning them. Probably warning them about fire or something like that. Bran also warns Tyrion about Daenerys when they're having a conversation in the Great Hall. It's important that Bran warns more than just his family, as it shows that he is looking out for the whole realm, not just his family. And by warning some of the most powerful people, he knows who has the power to move what pieces across the board, showing that he can recognize threats. And when Bran talks to Jaime in episode 2 in season 8, Bran warns Jaime about fire from a beast after he says, "How do you know there is an afterlife?" With this step, Bran has shown he has the attention and ability to be a good king, and he's shown that he can put his own life at risk for people, giving him a very valid argument to become king. And by him telling Tyrion, it leads into step 4, but also telling Jaime and Tyrion and Jon and Sansa and Arya, those 5 people are powerful enough to do something about Daenerys becoming the Mad Queen. It's not his fault they ignore him. But ultimately, this leads into step 4 being the final step and what I'm changing. Tyrion's speech making Bran king. Tyrion doesn't use story as a reason, and his speech actually makes sense. This time, he uses everything Bran has done this season, to prove that Bran will be a great king and deserves the throne. He uses killing the Night King to protecting everyone, warning people in high places about the Mad Queen, only trying to look down, only trying to look out for the people of King's Landing and the people of the realm as a whole. Both of those are Bran trying to save lives, and he saved millions of lives by killing the Night King. Tyrion makes the point that Bran almost gave his life for the realm, which makes him definite material to be king, and he has proven that he's good-natured and a good king. And while Bran could have outright said that opposed Daenerys, he went about it more methodically trying to reduce bloodshed. And yeah, Bran also proves that he has negotiation skills to be the king by managing to send Jon Snow to the wall rather than the death at the hands of the Unsullied, once again saving lives and preventing a war with the North or with the Unsullied. Overall, those are my 4 steps towards making Bran a king that doesn't come out of nowhere. If King Bran had proper build-up, perhaps the reception towards Bran becoming king, maybe King Bran would have been better received. The problem was, ultimately, the show spent 7 seasons entering Season 8 setting up Daenerys to be the queen, and 4 seasons entering Season 8 setting up Jon Snow to be the king. Hell, I think the biggest thing is that there was zero build-up. They used the one shot of Jon and Bran in Episode 1, but come on, that doesn't count. I'd argue Sansa had more build-up to becoming queen than Bran did becoming king. It's unbelievable. However, these 4 steps fix the biggest issues, and while Bran wasn't the primary option to be king, it does make it to where he doesn't come out of nowhere. That is it from me, and on Friday, be prepared for a big video, a huge video. What if Game of Thrones went to 10 seasons, part 4, covering Season 8. But until then, bye!